Wow, we finally got a decent day. It's beautiful today. And it's my first walk in 8 days. It's been a hell of a week. So I was supposed to have a biopsy on Friday, and that got canceled at the last minute, which worked out because my neck just wasn't getting any better. So I went to the emergency room and got that worked out for now. I'm still in a lot of pain, but I will take this any day over the last 8 days. So I don't want to talk about that today. I want to talk about what scares me. And what scares me the most right now, of all the colors on the globe, the color that scares me the most is white. And I'll tell you why. There's a reason. Because there's a reason for everything, right? So, I've had a problem with white men for a long time. And a lot of people would call me sexist, even racist. I have a good reason to feel the way that I feel. Like a lot of people who have life experience, they are shaped by their experiences, what they learn, what they see, what they hear. And my first experience happened when I was 11 years old, and it involved my dad. So my dad cheated on my mom, like he did most of his wives, and flew helicopters for the sheriff's department. So he had an in. And when my mom decided to leave him, he had my mom's new boyfriend arrested for drugs. And so they lost their jobs, my mom and her boyfriend. Their reputations were ruined. And I don't know, maybe 6 months into it, they found out that it was all a lie. There was a narc that was getting paid to bust people and lied about the whole thing. And my dad was involved in that because he was jealous. And my dad was controlling. He controlled the finances. He was secretive about everything. And I love my dad dearly, but these are just the facts. And I didn't realize the damage that was done until much later, because my mother, bless her heart, was the kind of mom that wanted me to still have a relationship with my father. So she hid a lot from me, a lot of her struggle. But because of that arrest, we had to leave town and move to another city. So there was a $13,000 settlement. Didn't really settle anything when you ruin people's lives. And yeah, that was my first experience. And then fast forward 6-7 years later, my boyfriend, ex-boyfriend, got jealous, knew a dirty cop, had someone I knew arrested that he knew was with me because he was jealous. He also locked me in a closet when I tried to leave. In college, when I almost got raped, it was by a white man. My dad was involved in politics throughout my life, and I saw some interesting stuff there too. But what I've come to understand as I've grown up is that white men with enough money and enough power can cheat, lie, steal, and sabotage to get their way. And they don't have to answer for any of it. I've seen this all throughout my life. It's not the way I wanted it to be. I didn't choose. Yeah, I didn't have the greatest. I didn't choose wisely growing up, but I did grow up. And I got smarter and started realizing I was repeating the same patterns. And I didn't want to repeat the same patterns. Hello. But I still see it. I'm dealing with a stalker situation right now. And I've seen so many women abused and stalked and threatened. And it's been by white men, myself included. I've had so many experiences where if a man didn't get what he wanted, he was going to make sure nobody else got it either. And I just got really tired of seeing this happen. And it's still happening. It's still happening all over the world. And so, if you zoom out of your life for a minute, I see a lot of great white men. I saw a group, White Dudes for Harris. That was amazing. I wish I could have gotten on that call. I feel like that would be a great dating app. Where are those people? So when I zoom out, they're everywhere. There just don't seem to be a lot of them down here on the ground where most of us live. You know, from my house to the last guy in the White House, I've seen males use their white privilege to get what they wanted at any cost. The White Dudes for Harris group, I heard, got sabotaged on Twitter. I'm sorry about that, but that's just another shining example of what people will do to get their way. So that's what I see a lot of. And trying to be really careful here. Because all of these are sensitive subjects. But I'm not the only one with a story to share. I'm just one of millions of women. And I think if we shared more, then maybe they would stop getting away with it all. So, that's why I'm excited about Kamala Harris. And that's why I'm so grateful to all the men out there, the good men who are standing up and speaking out and trying to do what they can do and supporting their women. I see that. And I have to admit, it makes me a little jealous. because I've never really had that. I've been easy prey. And I grew up watching women be easy prey for men. Of all the experiences I've had in my life, and I've had many, with the exception of one, they were all, every assault, every lie, every manipulation, every sabotage was done by a white man to me. I'm 46 years old and I choose wisely now, but I can't control the people around me. And I see a whole lot of the same with the people around me. Say what you will about black people. Say what you will about brown people. But I have always been more scared of the white person next to me than I ever have been of the black or brown person standing next to me. And maybe I have such a kinship towards them because I know what it's like to feel marginalized. I know what it's like to feel beaten. I know what it's like to feel lied to and cheated. Plus, I spent my summers down in New Mexico, and it was a mostly Hispanic community, and I loved it. Loved it. The music, the food, the family. It is and will remain the best summers of my life. So that's just my personal story. And I share that because I see what the other side is doing. My dad voted for Trump. And on that call, after the election in 2016, I called him and I said, God, Dad, you don't know what's about to happen. And he's like, oh, honey, it'll be all right. You got nothing to worry about. And I felt let down yet again, because none of us knew what was about to happen. I don't think anybody could have ever predicted what was about to happen. These are dangerous people. And I recognize them because I grew up with them. Because I've been assaulted by them. Because I've seen a lot of people victimized by them. And I hope that we are all just so tired of dealing with this and being scared, fearful. I mean, I have 2 boys. They're watching all of this right now. They hear the words on the TV. They see their mom upset, scared. And what am I supposed to tell them? And more importantly, when we allow that kind of vulgar behavior on national television, how can I ever teach my sons not to be that way? When they see that it's rewarded. Oh, I could be president of the United States. Oh, I can say or do whatever I want. How are they ever going to respect me or other women if the leader of a free country takes away women's rights or tells them, just grab them by the pussy. How we allowed that to happen, I'll never understand. Is that what we want our boys to think, to say, to do? I don't think so. So that's why it's important to vote in November. And at every level. It all matters. If the governor doesn't respect women, how is the state supposed to? If the Board of Education doesn't want your kids to read a book, that's their power, right? Every seat holds a position of power that can be used for either good or bad, and I've seen both. City council members, it matters. Sheriff, it matters. It's the difference between can be life or death. Who they hire. Who are they putting in those cop cars? What laws are they going to be allowed to break? City Hall, it all seriously matters. So, just please do the homework. It's not just about a presidential election. It's about every election, every seat. You think the Supreme Court might seem very far away, but look at the reach they've had with Roe v. Wade. Just think about what could happen to your town or to your city or to your state. You have to live here. We have to raise our kids here. And I think most people would want their freedom, right? The freedom to love who they want to love. The freedom to start a family or not. The freedom to read what they want to read. Learn about our true history. Even if it's ugly. Because a lot of it's ugly. I have a lot of ugly history. And that's okay. Nobody's perfect. What do they say? We don't learn by winning. We learn by the mistakes we make. I think we should learn this time around that we already did that. And look how it worked out. This country just isn't for the rich, the people who can get away with anything. It seems like if you've got all the money, you could get away with anything. It doesn't matter if you're going to get a tax break if you don't have a world to live in. Or you're scared to send your kids to school. Or even leave your house. So, Please vote. And thank you to White Dudes for Harris. I see y'all.